minutes reading time. And use that 20 minutes to thoroughly, comprehensively read all the 5 questions. When you read all the 5 questions thoroughly, understand whatever you are required to do, then you can now begin to write out your work, write out your plan. On the first and second page of your answer booklet, it can be planning. You plan everything out. Then you now start out, okay, per what I have here, I think I'm good to go with question 2. Let me do the question 2 first. You write it out. Boom. Now, the question 2, it is something you know, it is something you understand, so you get all the marks there. The examiner starts marking and says, whoa, that's good. You go to the next question. You realize that, yes, you could do as much as possible. So, you see, you start messing up from the 3rd and 4th and 5th question, probably. But when you get there, you've already won the favor of the examiner. The marker will be like, wow, this student is good. So if at the end you start messing up, it is understandable, but you have sowed a seed of goodness in the head or in the mind of the marker. So from the beginning, the marker has an impression that this is an excellent student. So even later on, if you are screwing up, if you are messing up, he may not see it, because you have sown a seed and you have blinded him with the first impression, because first impression counts a lot. But if you start screwing up from the beginning, you started with a question you cannot answer. What you have been writing, we can't even make any sense of it. Grammatically, it is wrong. Okay? Everything is wrong. Tenses, everything is wrong. Then from the beginning, you told the marker, the one marking that you are really a poor student. You are really, excuse me to use this word, a stupid student. And chances are, everything at the back there, we will just overlook it. That is why it is very important to impress the marker at the beginning of the mark. That is why you need planning. That is why you need examining. That is why you need to sit down and add 20 minutes to your 15 minutes. So this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. I know this is going to be new for a lot of people. I know it is not something that a lot of people are familiar with. I know it is not something that will be comfortable for a lot of people to do. But if you can do it, I can guarantee you that you can increase the chances of passing the exam. So 20 minutes. Use the 20 minutes in addition to the 15 minutes. So you're using like 35 minutes, but you're using 20 minutes in the 3 hours to plan your work. Then start always with what you can do best first. Go on. For those of you writing corporate reporting and financial reporting, please stop starting with your consolidated financial statement. You are going to be wasting time on it. Because some of you are too egotistic, you are too full of yourself, you think you can do the consolidation. You start now, you reach note 1. You read a note 1, you don't understand. You skip that. You read note 2, you don't understand. You skip it. You read note 3, you don't understand. Then you start messing up. Please, spend time very well. If you're writing financial reporting, corporate reporting, I don't know your level of understanding of consolidated financial statement, but I would recommend always go to question 5. Theory area, ethics, you will get something there to write. Question 4, ratios analysis or interpretation of financial statement. Boom, get an interpretation, do it. Come to the standards. There is something that you can certainly do. If it's a single entity for FR, do it. There is something that you can do. Let consolidated financial statement be your 3rd or 4th question, and stop that mindset of putting preamble down. You don't need preamble. You need to solve the question. That is what we want you to say. That is what we want you to do. So if you have been doing that and you still fail, then it means you got to stop. Okay? Because if you do something over and over again and you are not getting results, that means you have to change how you are doing the thing you're doing. But if you are still using the same approach, the same strategy, the same thing, and you are expecting different results, you're screwing up yourself. So this is what I want you to understand. This is what is critical to me. This is what I know you need to work on, because if you're able to plan your work out in the first 20 minutes or in the 20 minutes to the exams before you start writing, you're going to be increasing your chance. You're going to be opening up yourself very well so that you can pass the examination. I know this is going to be challenging for some of you because it's your first time. I know this is against what you know, the conventional wisdom you know about. I know this is against whatever somebody else has told you somewhere. But it is not about what somebody is telling you. It's about sitting down and reasoning through it and finding out, is what this person is saying true? Is it applicable? Is it reasonable? You see, advice is cheap and advice is free, but you have to decide which advice to take. It's very important. Don't just take advice from people because of their qualification, because of their degrees, because of their letters in front of their names, or because of what you perceive them to be. Whatever advice you take from people, you need to sit down and think about it. That includes what you are listening now, what you are hearing from me now. So whatever I'm telling you now, sit down and think about it and find out if what I'm saying, there is any reason in it. If there is a reason in it, implement. If there is no reason, no cause for alarm, throw it away. Do whatever you please. Because advice doesn't cost anything. Receiving advice is free. Everybody can advise. But an advice does not apply to everybody, does not apply to all situations, does not apply to everything. And this is what I want you to do. If you can deal with your freaking out, if you can deal with your emotional imbalances, if you can deal with the fear, if you can deal with the difficulties, the challenges, and what you go through in the exam hall, then I can guarantee you, you can increase the chances of passing the examination. That is what you must do. That is what you must hear. That is how you must position yourself. So that is the first thing I want you to do, planning out your work. The second thing I want you to do, in addition to planning out your work, is in relation to reviewing your work. Very important. You plan, you review. Now, reviewing of your work is about 15 minutes to the exams. Listen carefully. This is another thing which people don't do. This is another thing that people say you shouldn't do. But it is very critical that you must do it. So when you hear 15 minutes to stop work, put your pen down and spend some time to go over everything you've written. Go over everything you've done, especially if you are writing reading subjects like public sector, partly reading, audit and assurance, partly mostly reading, taxation, partly reading, partly calculation. Go through these things. Principle of taxation, okay, business law, business management and information system. If you're writing papers like that, 15 minutes, put your pen down. Now, I know you are going to say, but Nhyira, I can do a lot in 15 minutes. Maybe 15 minutes, I feel now, but this is the time that I can be writing. You said I should stop and go and review. Yes, you've got to be able to stop and go and review. Because you see, if you don't review what you have done, chances are you've written a lot of nonsense. Okay? If you don't stop to review what you've done, chances are you've written a lot of nonsense. Especially when you are writing. You see, when you are writing, you have experienced this before. You are writing, you think you are writing what is in your mind, but your pen is writing something else. So in your mind, you think you are writing, the business is doing well because they have undertaken advertisement. That is what you think you are writing. But if you go back to review it, you'll be like, holy moly, what did I write? A lot of nonsense you've written down. So you need this 15 minutes to review what you wrote. Again, I know this is against your conventional wisdom. I know this is against what somebody has told you. I know this is against what you have been breastfed with, what you have been ingrained with, what you have been told all your life. That when there is 15 minutes more, write more. That'll be giant Toronto. Stop the writing and review what you have done. It is very critical. It is very critical. So after that, when you hear get ready to stop with 15 minutes to go, you review and take time to review. Scan, read, find out. Because sometimes you've not brought a verb. Sometimes you need an auxiliary verb to be in something. Sometimes you've not even spelled something right. Sometimes it's about a calculation. Instead of writing 435, you've written 535. You see, you've done error of transposition. Sometimes it's just some minor errors. If you're able to scan, read, you're able to review, you can inject in those things, you can correct those things, and try as much as possible to perfect what you've already done. And then if you have some time left, you can continue with what you are writing. This is critical. This is crucial. This is going to be something you've got to do in the exam hall. So 2 things I want you to do. 2 things that can guarantee you pass the exam. Remember, in the exam hall, it is not about who taught you. it is not about the questions you solve, it is not about what you did, it is about what you do in the exam hall. If you're able to spend the 15 minutes, get ready to stop work, to review, to go over everything you have done, I can guarantee you that you will be able to do well. I can guarantee you will be able to do well. It's very important. But I know this is going to be a change for a couple of people. I know this is going to be against your thoughts. This is going to be against your emotions. This is going to be against whatever it is that you were brought up with. But as I say all the time, conventional wisdom is almost always wrong. Whatever people say it is the right way, it's not always the right way. That is why I'm suggesting this to you. 20 minutes for your planning, 15 minutes for your reviewing. It's critical. It's critical. When gets ready to stop work and you've answered 4 questions, I don't even care. If you answered only 4 questions, maybe the 5th question you are on it, stop it. Go over the 4 that you have done. Try to find out, is everything right in your eye? Is everything right in your judgment? Are you actually answering you're providing the answers that they ask you to provide? Because one of the things I share with students is that, especially reading subjects, sometimes the examiner asks you for causes, then you're writing symptoms. Sometimes the examiner asks you for symptoms, then you're writing causes. Alright, so they ask you symptoms of something, then you're writing the causes. They ask you causes, they are writing something. They ask you to discuss something, then you are stating. They ask you to explain something, then you are listing. You've got to be careful about all of these. That is why you need a 15 minutes for reviewing. You need a 15 minutes for reviewing. I believe with my heart that if you're able to implement this strategy, you're able to implement this technique, you're able to go through what I'm sharing with you, then you can definitely increase your chances of passing the examination. Without that, you will be a person that will just go into the exam hall, look at a lot of things, freak out in the exam hall a lot of time, be scared, be afraid, and ultimately fail the exams when the results come out. But if you want to guarantee yourself, you want to position yourself, you want to structure yourself in such a way that you will be able to be in the right framework, in the right mindset, and lower the pressure that is on yourself and position yourself strategically to pass the exams, I think these 2 strategies are critical for the exam. So number 1, planning. Use 20 minutes to plan. Number 2, reviewing. The 15 minutes, get ready to stop work. Stop doing everything and plan out your work. I know that if you're able to implement these 2 strategies, you will be in a better position to pass your professional examination and definitely move on to the next level and become a successful person as it is. Remember, advice is free, advice is cheap, but you have to decide whether the advice you are receiving actually applies to your life. And you have to advise whether the advice you are receiving, you have to advise yourself whether the advice you are receiving is actually going to take you to where you are going to. So think about what I've shared with you. Is it reasonable? Is it something you can resonate with? Comment below and let me know your thoughts about it. Is it something that you can associate yourself with? Is it something that you think that it's doable? Something that you think that you must do in order to position yourself in order to pass the examination? If yes, go ahead and implement it. And if you find this to be useless also, comment below about it. I don't care about that, but know that for everything you do, there is a result that comes out of for it. Thank you, and this is what I want to share with you on what I think you must do that you position yourself in order to pass the examination. If you implement these 2 strategies, planning and reviewing, I can see you on the next level, and definitely you can become a better version of yourself. So subscribe to the channel and stay connected with me, because I'm going to be releasing a lot of content like this to assist you on your journey so you become successful. See you in another broadcast.